last week we had a godly young woman from Lexington come and speak about being a Christian online, and we had some guys that were like felt a little bit out of the loop, maybe like it was more of like a conversation for the girls. Although I disagree, I think there were some things that the guys needed to hear. But we do have some guys tonight, and I wonder if you would just share some encouragement to these guys. I've been burdened that sometimes we do see sometimes our ladies in clubs and churches, they're the quick to raise their hand to read the Bible, and they don't mind volunteering to do devotions, and man, the guys, what do we need to do to get more guys to step up to love their Bible, be not bashful about their faith? What can we do to encourage these guys?
Yeah. So here would be the first question, guys. If you're hesitant to want to lead out, to read, to engage in conversations about your faith, to take leadership roles, if you're hesitant, the first question I would have you to ask yourself would be this: why? Why are you hesitant? There may be a couple of answers, and I want you to grapple with what those might be. Is it fear? Is it fear of, I don't know enough and I might look dumb? In other words, I might lose face in front of other people. If that's the case, there's a couple of things you need to do. You need to take serious about growing in your faith, because you're called to lead. You're called to step up. You're called to be courageous. Like, the courage it takes to run up a hill that's got a machine gun up it, and you're supposed to charge the hill with your gun to take the hill. That kind of courage is still required in doing intellectual things as well. It's not just needed for doing acts of bravery. You need courage to step into uncomfortable places to do things that are hard. And I think we like to quit when things are hard. I think we like to give up when something requires something of us. When we don't get it instantly, we don't want to do it. And I think we just got to say that's weak. And we don't want to live weak. We don't want to be like that. And so if you live like that, this is gals too. You're never going to do anything. You're never going to do anything if you're just waiting for everything to be easy. So I would say, guys, if you're fearful of leading out because you don't know enough, change that. Change it. There's enough resources out there. There's never been more resources available to you in your lifetime, at your computer, at your phone, at your fingertips. It's there. You can listen to podcasts. You can listen to lectures. You can have books read to you. I'm not even going to say you can read a book, because I don't call audiobooks reading a book. But you can have a book read to you. So get the knowledge. Get the knowledge. Now, here's the other side of being fearful because you're afraid that you don't know enough, is that you're really worried about what other people think about you. And let's go down that trail for a moment, because I'm going to tell you, in life, if you want to lead at anything and you're waiting for the applause meter to determine whether or not you're going to do this or that, you're not going to lead. You're not going to lead. You're not going to lead with courage. You're not going to lead with integrity. You're going to be led by what you think people want you to do and what you think makes you fit in. Let me just kind of share a personal story with you guys. When I was in high school, I did not live for Christ at all. Now, here's the deal. I was a Christian. I got saved in the church I grew up in, my grandmother's church. It was genuine. Truly believed Christ died for sinners, upon which I was, that he rose from the dead. I put my faith in him, was baptized, but there was no discipleship. Nobody ever came alongside me and said, hey, young man, this is what it looks like to follow Jesus, not just attend Sunday school class. This is what it looks like when your flesh wants things and you have to learn to say no. This is what it looks like to learn how to walk with God. This is what it looks like to face temptation. This is what it looks like to suffer. Nobody ever did that. And so here's what happened. Because I wasn't taught how to pursue and love Christ, I found love for things in the world. I gave way to my flesh. I did seek after approval from friends as my highest aim. Like, approval from God wasn't something I lived for, because here's the deal. For me, following God was believe and behave. It was never about relationship with him. It was never about pleasure and joy found in him. So I say all that to say this. I did a lot of things in high school that were really, really, really dumb. And most of the things that I did were not because my flesh desired those things. It's because I was approval of people for doing those things. Does that make sense? I did certain things because of what it would make you think about me. And here's the deal, guys. That's a rat race right there that you never finish. If that's what you're living for, is the approval of others, and you're acting out according to what you think they want you to do and what's going to make you fit in and what's going to get you patted on the back and what's going to make them think, oh, you're cool, or, oh, man, you're great. It's an unfulfilling path that will never lead to a finish line that satisfies you. Promise. So watch. If you are refusing to lead and step up as a young man, you don't want to step up because you're fearful of, I don't know enough. Fix it. But also address the fact that you're fearful of what people will think, and address that issue as well. Get to the place where you're humble enough to say, I don't know squat, but I want to learn, and I want to lead, and I want to be the kind of man that God wants me to be. And ladies, this applies to you as well, right? But you guys seem to be a lot more mature in that area than guys are at your age. And so here's the other piece. It may not be fear that you don't know enough. Here's the other thing. This is the ugly part. And this is the mirror you've got to look in, okay? If I say to you, what's the question? Ask yourself the question, why won't you do it? If the answer is I don't have any desire to, I don't want to, then you got some other questions you got to wrestle with. Why not? Why don't you desire to be the kind of person that loves God out loud, that loves God in front of others, that's willing to read, that has a love and a desire for more of him, to grow, to plumb the depths of who God is, and to help other people see him, to help lead those who are around you to follow him and serve him. Like, if there's just not even an inkling of desire, there's a big difference between knowing how and not wanting to, right? There's a big difference. And so you got to grapple with both of those. If you've got the desire but not the know-how, then fix that and deal with your insecurities about what you think people think about you. But if you don't have a desire, let your lack of desire, if you have eyes to see that you don't have desire, that alone should convict you to say, Lord, you've got to do something. That scares me that I don't desire it. Because you're going to start wrestling with some questions of, am I who I think I am? And do I really believe what I say I believe? And I know that's not an easy answer, but that is my answer. I do think that's what you've got to deal with if you're just hesitant to spring forward. There's some bigger questions at work, I think, under the hood.